goal that I've set for myself or is being set for my training is being accomplished, I don't want to go into the personal behavior of the person. And I'm saying this because the whole teaching business has been distorted by emphasizing the importance of the teacher as a hero. So when you take medicines for a disease, you don't particularly care how nice the doctor was, right? Doctor's patience, mannerisms are fine, but if it is typhoid and it gives me chloromycetin and I get cured, I am fine. So in the same sense, I'm saying if my objective is to teach you how to solve a quadratic equation, and I have made you learn how to solve it and you can do it, then whether I make more mistakes than you while solving it is a different issue. And this has always been, most students or many students are brighter than their teachers. Right?
Go back.
So that doesn't mean teaching. And there's a very nice thing I think it's Kent Roberts, somebody says, you just imagine Shakespeare. We said we all think of Shakespeare as a grown-up. Sometimes he must have been a kid. He must have been in class 7 or 8. Imagine Shakespeare's English teacher when Shakespeare was in class 8. She would always think, can be improved. Should try harder.
Well,
and many teachers they can't qualify IIT exam, but their students are qualifying. So,
but go back to the fundamentals of teaching in ancient times. If Guru Vashisht was to teach Bhim and Arjun and everybody and be better than all of them, it would never happen. He was probably less than all 5 of them.
Yes. And in fact, that is my new model of teaching. So, in fact, what I am trying to say, the purpose of whatever I am trying to do is that ordinary teachers and ordinary students should be able to get good learning. And the traditional model is, we say, everybody, first time it hit me, I come from a very privileged background. I was in a very good school. Effortlessly I came first, I get gold medals, silver medals, taught IIT, and all students are bright. So first time I saw stupid people was in the High Court. I can say this here.
So you've been to the US too?
So, yeah, I've taught in Canada for a while and so on. But now the point is, the first time you realize that here is a person who is ignorant and arrogant both, and you've got to make him understand. So many people ask me that I communicate reasonably well. I said, I learned it all in the High Court. Arrogant, ignorant people, you explain something to them, you can explain it to anybody. Okay. So that's why. Right. Okay. And then,
can you imagine a judge at the Allahabad High Court? That's what he's trying to picture.
Yeah. Now, so therefore, what happens is that I was in a board of a private institution in Delhi, and first year results were being discussed, and the dean was flipping through that. I said, hold on, why are the results so poor? Now this one is a PhD from JNU. So again his mindset is that, he says, one is Indraprasth University and we are the 8th preferred college of Indraprasth University, so students are no good. And then this moment of enlightenment came and I told this guy, I said, you have to begin with the idea that your students are ordinary. The problem in his mind is, I am from JNU. These are not JNU-like students, so they can never learn, and so on. So the whole, and in India, the whole problem that happens, even as he said, oh, if you put this, it won't happen, we don't, you shouldn't have that. No corporate works on getting super brilliant people as their CEOs. Who knows, tell me, who were the big people in Coca-Cola for the last 100 years? Still 1 billion bottles of Coca-Cola are being consumed every day. So if you want to do things on a large scale, and last one against genius and talent, absolutely in support of that. If you want large number of people to learn, then ordinary people should be able to teach ordinary people using support mechanisms. And the biggest example I gave is, let's say the education system said you will not study if you cannot study with your eyes in a natural way. Most of us here who are considered brilliant students would have been out of the school, because if you can't read without glasses, you can't study. And this could be a simple policy. Because we have,
incidentally, at IIT at one time, if
it was
you didn't have perfect eyes, you couldn't get into IIT.
Now you imagine, now you imagine that if you can use glasses as a prosthetic device to be able to read a book and then exercise your brain, whatever else is coming in the way of your learning, if you can overcome them by interventions, then your real learning will start happening. You are taking that additional thing, your aptitude for